Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my first video in the new playlist Concrete Technology. So this video will be all about what is concrete, what is raw material used for the manufacture of concrete, as well as let's see some historical developments of concrete, and also let's see some important remarkable incidents that took place in history in connection with concrete. Okay, so today this video is all about concrete and its history. So let's begin with the definition of concrete first. So concrete is a man-made material, you know it, why? Because concrete is not naturally available, but the raw materials used for the manufacture of concrete are naturally available, but still we all compile them together to get a material called concrete. Hence it is a man-made material and it is composite in nature. Why? Because concrete, the raw materials used in concrete are not homogeneous, they are of different nature and they are of different kinds. Hence it's a composite material and a building material, of course. And this word concrete is derived from the Latin word concretus, which means to grow together. We have an alternate meaning also. Concretus also means that dense and compact. And concrete is the second most widely used material in the world, where water is the first widely consumed material. Okay, so concrete stands second. It means you have to imagine how much construction is going across the world, across the globe. And we have a term called fresh concrete, which means that the concrete which is fresh in nature, means which is not yet set, which is fully fresh, is called as fresh concrete. And the concrete which sets and completely becomes hard, that's called as hardened concrete. Okay, and we have another terminology which you need to remember, which is called grade of concrete. And this grade of concrete is defined, or it is specified by the 28-day compressive strength, characteristic compressive strength of cube. Okay, say for example, I think you heard the words grade of concretes like M10, M15, M20, M25, M30, M70, like that we are having various grades. So in that, M represents mix, 20 represents the characteristic compressive strength of that concrete at 28 days. Okay, so that 28, that 20 or 30 or 70, whatever you are writing besides M, means that it is the characteristic compressive strength of concrete at 28 days in megapascal. So concrete basically is a mixture of four ingredients. I'm talking about a basic mixture, a nominal mix, a traditional mix, which is binder. Binder in the sense we have cement mostly used, but now people are replacing cement with various other materials. So rather we can call it as a binder material. Next we have fine aggregate, which is our sand, and now also people are replacing the river sand with M sand and so on. Next we have water, and also we have a coarse aggregate. So coarse aggregate includes gravel, crushed stone, whatever. Now also, now as the world is moving towards sustainability, people are replacing coarse aggregate also. They are replacing it with recycled aggregates and artificial aggregates and so on. Next, for all these materials to bind together, we require water. Why? Because the anhydrous binder cannot bind all the particles together to make the concrete or to become concrete. Hence, we require water. So basically, concrete is composed of cement, a binder material, a fine aggregate, a coarse aggregate, and water. So this is the figure. You have cement, you have fine aggregate, you have coarse aggregate, and you have water. So you can see the flow chart. Basically concrete is having, as told, cement or a binder material. Next we have aggregates. Aggregates include both fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. And just now I told you we have water. Now to improve the properties of basic concrete mix, which is cement plus aggregate plus water, if you want to improve the properties of that concrete, you can add admixtures or additives. Additives are those materials which are added during the manufacturing processes of cement or of cement. Whereas admixture is that which is added during the mixing process. Okay, So we generally add admixtures to enhance the properties. So this forms the concrete mix. Coming to the history of concrete, around 3000 BC, Egyptians used various forms of concrete to make pyramids, and it is not exactly the concrete what we are using, but they tried to make some form of concrete over 5000 years itself. They took mud and they took some rice straw and they made it as a powder and they used it as a binder. Then they took bricks, they crushed the bricks and they used it as a coarse aggregate, and they also added gypsum and lime to make a mortar, and finally they could make out these pyramids. Next is in 300 BC, this slowly the history of concrete started spreading towards Roman side. So Romans used various materials in improving the properties of concrete, and remarkably they even, you know what, they used animal blood, animal fat also to improve the properties of concrete. So you know, one of the wonders of the world, earlier wonders of the world, we have the Roman Colosseum, and even, you know, that was built by using concrete, a form of concrete. So that is also one of the greatest constructions they have done. Next, around 1824, the first Portland cement was invented. Earlier to this, people like Parker and John Smeaton also worked on making cement, but Joseph Aspidin took the patent of ordinary Portland cement of what we are using today in our daily lives. So this person, Joseph Aspidin, is the person who has patented it, and he is mentioned as the inventor of modern Portland cement or ordinary Portland cement what we are using today in our daily lives. Okay, he so called it ordinary Portland cement because that cement represented a stone uh, in the place called Portland in England. Next is concrete testing. In 1836, the first concrete testing was done. The first test of tensile and compressive strength was done in 1836 in Germany. Next, in 1815, the first concrete road was laid in Austria. Then it appeared later in England also in 1865, and in 1891, the first concrete road was laid in Ohio, US. Next, in 1854, the first reinforced concrete was manufactured. You just add iron bars or steel bars and reinforce the concrete, it becomes a reinforced concrete. And William was the first person who erected a small reinforced concrete cottage. How did he do is he just took the iron bars and he tied the iron bars with a wire rope. Now what we are calling these iron bars to be as the reinforcement bars, and this rope with which he tied is called as just stirrups, and he made this and he started reinforcing the concrete. Next, in 1889, we have Alvord Lake Bridge constructed, and it was the first concrete bridge. And till now, the bridge is also existing in San Francisco. Even after so many years of construction, it is standing very still and strong. Next, in 1901, the first concrete uh, formwork or column clamp was manufactured or first designed by Arthur Henry. He was the first person to make a he to design a column clamp, like something like a column formwork to pour concrete inside. Next, in 1902, the first rotary kiln was used for the manufacturing of cement. You know, in the manufacture of cement production, we use rotary kiln. In the rotary kiln, the burning process will take place, and this was first developed by Thomas Edison. Next, in 1930, ready mix concrete came into action, and the first load of ready mix concrete was delivered to Maryland. And the first patent for this concrete pump also was filed, and this made the concrete transportation easy from one place to the other place. Next, in 1950, this person, Line Mason, was the first man who invented the colored concrete. He maintained a company called LM Schofield Company, where he started producing concrete with different colors. This also the products of this person from his company included color hardeners, color wax, integral colors, etc., and sealers and chemical stains. Okay. Next, in 1928, the first pre-stressed concrete construction took place. Nowadays, pre-stressed concrete has become very, very as a part and parcel. It has become common now, but it was invented so many years back. In 1928, this again, the French civil engineer, he has constructed a pre-stressed hangar, hangar for your airport. This hangar was constructed with the help of a prestressed concrete in a parabolic curve shape, which is still existing at Paris. In 1930, air entraining agents were first invented. Air entraining agents are used as admixtures in concrete. We have two types of admixtures, mineral and chemical. So air entraining agents are a example of chemical admixtures. These agents are added to produce uniform air bubbles so that the cement or the concrete will become resistant towards freezing and thawing. And in 1970s, fiber was first added to concrete to increase the tensile strength of concrete. Concrete is always strong in compression, but it is weak in tension. So hence, to improve its property towards tensile, we are adding concrete fibers. So it was first done, and people use a lot of varieties of fibers. You have glass fibers, you have coconut fibers, etc. Next, in 1980s, self-compacting concrete was first invented, and nowadays also a lot of research is going around self-compacting concrete. Almost in the mid 1980s, in Japan, this self-compacting concrete was developed. So this concrete you need not compact again. Machine compacting or manual compacting is not required. It will be compacted by itself due to the addition of some admixtures. In 1993, also in Sweden, there was research going on SCC, which is a self-compacting concrete, or also which is called as vibrating free concrete. And in Europe, a first bridge was built out of this. And in 1980s, the invention of superplasticizer and also silica fume came into action. Silica fumes are also one of the superplasticizers are also examples of chemical admixtures which are used to reduce the water content in your uh, concrete, and also to improve the workability of the concrete, right? And silica fume is almost a binder. It is used as a mineral admixture. So this silica fume also was introduced as a binder material or a cement replacement material. Then even high strength concrete came into action, and high strength concrete was used in construction of a building called Union Plaza, which is in Washington. Next is in 1999, polished concrete came into action. Polished concrete, especially used for flooring purposes, for beautiful aesthetic view. We use polished concrete. And the first installation of polished concrete floor happened in US, which was a 40,000 square foot warehouse floor in Las Vegas. And this polished concrete has become very much important in a very short duration. It gained a lot of attraction and importance. Now we can see at almost every retail location, places like in big malls, etc., you can see this polished concrete floors, and even some of the residential houses also you can do see this. So finally, coming to concrete as a structural material, we have some technical terms related to this. If you add cement, this is your Portland cement. If you add cement with water, that is called as cement paste. Okay, so paste means cement plus water. Next, for the same paste, you add sand, then it becomes mortar, or it is called mortar. So indirectly, mortar is cement plus sand plus water. And for the mortar, again, if you add water, it becomes if you add aggregate, it becomes concrete. So concrete is cement plus aggregate plus water. Okay, so I'm repeating. So cement plus water is called as paste, then cement plus water plus sand is called mortar, then cement plus sand plus coarse aggregate plus water is called as concrete. So coming to the advantages of concrete, concrete is economical. Why? Because when compared to other types of materials, like you take steel structures or any other structures, something like engineering, pre-engineered building materials like that, if you take, they are a little bit costly. So when compared to those, we can go for concrete. Concrete is economical in nature. Next, ambient temperature. So for your concrete to set and become hard, you don't require higher temperatures, you just require ambient temperature. Means normal regular room temperature is sufficient for us. You don't require elevated temperature to allow your concrete to set. Next is ability to cast. Means you can cast your concrete in any form. If you observe, you can pour concrete into a beam, you can pour concrete into a column, you can put a slab, whatnot. So it can be casted into any form, so it is easy to be casted. Next, energy efficient. So you don't require much energy, you need not exhaust much energy in the manufacturing of concrete. It is excellent resistance to water. Means it is good at resisting the water content. Like now we all people live in houses made up of concrete, so you can observe, uh, unless until there is any faulty design, your water seeps into your roof, but other than that you can observe it is very much resistant towards the water coming from outside. Next, high temperature resistance. Even if you see, if any fire accident takes place in the houses or anywhere also, you can observe the building will not collapse completely. Means it means that your concrete is resistant towards high temperatures also. Ability to consume waste. Now you have special concretes which are playing a key role. From last 2 to 3 decades, people are doing a lot of research on replacing the cement materials with some other material which is a byproduct coming from the industry or agricultural waste, whatever. And also not only about the binder particles, but also people are trying to include waste into concrete and make it more stronger, or they are trying to just improve the properties, and they are trying to check the reliability of using these waste materials into concrete. So hence that also can be done, and less maintenance is required. So you need not work for complete all the time. You need not have an eye on your concrete. Once you take care for a little period of time, it will be fine. So these are the advantages, despite there will be disadvantages also, but right now we'll talk about advantages. Okay, so hope you understood this video. Thank you.